Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Wednesday with us on this 8th day of June of 2022. I am your host, astronumerologist, live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of enlightenment and a joy of learning first and enlightenment. Thank you. To get that straight first. As you see on the screen, I have my guest that's coming up. She's been on before. She gave a great presentation, getting in everybody's business last time about where their planetary aspects are. I don't know what she's going to talk about again, actually, this particular time, but that's what makes my guests so interesting, especially when they are Aquarians too. Before we do that, though, I want to let you know that, okay, let's get this straight here. That for the forecast, okay, let me see. Okay, need to go down. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Uh, the joy of learning. I keep forgetting to say, please like, share, and subscribe. I swear I'll get that. If I'll get it one day. But it is the joy of numerology, and in fact, I came up with this saying: the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. I got that in my visit to India. India is a very, very interesting country in Asia, and they talk about the joy and happiness and things like that. And they have a whole different philosophy of how they look at the world in terms of things spiritual and whatnot, where they figured that with a spirituality that's finding a way, but with religion is just a belief. So they have a whole different concept and whatnot. But that's how I got that when I was in India. So anyway, so please like, please share, please subscribe. But again, my whole thing is nice to have a ton of like, shares, and subscribe. But I would like them to be more genuine than just to have some numbers up on the board to do that. But today is Wednesday, June the 8th, 2022. The sun is in Gemini. The moon is in the cardinal sign of Libra. It is a 3 universal month, a 5 universal week, an 11 universal day. And those who are likely to do well today are Leos, Aquarians like my guests, Cancers, Capricorns, and Librans, and anybody whose birthday is born on the 2nd, the 8th, the 11th, the 17th, the 20th, the 26th, and the 29th. So that is the forecast for this day. All right. So without further ado, let me get this out the way. And alrighty, here we go. And here I go. Hi, everybody. There we go. Okay. All right, everybody. So anyway, listen, I think today represents show 100, So no, I don't have no popcorn. No, I don't have no champagne and bubbles and balloons and all that stuff. But what I would like for y'all to do to honor this is, please, I want y'all to visit my website later on YouTube. Numbers in You, numerology, Lloyd Strayhorn, Numbers in You, numerology, and look at all the guests that I've had on the show and support these guests. Okay, I mean, it's very, very important that you do that. All righty. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring on my very special guest, the number Swami. What's up, lady? How you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I am fine. I always get happy when I have my guests because it's my guest that makes the show. That's the secret sauce. I think, oh, Lloyd, you're so good. No, my guests are very good. At least I pick my guests very well. Now, how long have you been doing this? So let's get a little background on you, because last time you were kind of like reading everybody and jumping it off. What about you? What brought you down this path, astrologically and numerically speaking?
Let me see. I think I was always interested in like astrology and numerology, but growing up religious wise, it was something that was very frowned upon. So
Mhm.
I used to just like go around sneaking my books and like going to the library and going to bookstores and finding books and putting the books under my pillow and stuff like that. And I remember one day, I think I was like maybe 19 or 20, and this thing came up on my computer about um like your destiny and your numbers or something. And it would give you like some report if you give it like your birthday or something. So I did
Mhm.
that. I was like, I was like, ooh, this is really interesting. And then from there, I went down the rabbit hole, and the rabbit hole was book after book after book, collections of books and stuff. And I remember being in Barnes and Nobles one day, and I saw your book in Barnes and Nobles, and I was like, "Oh, he's from New York. This is so cool. I wonder like, where he is."
You ladies, y'all are always so.
I picked up the book, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. This is easy." And then from there, I was just like, I always had a knack for numbers. When I was in college, I was a biochem major, turned English major, somewhere around there, just like figuring out as I went along. So I was always interested in the sciences. So collectively, astrology, numerology are both like the oldest sciences here. So going back to like the natural way of understanding yourself and the world is why I love being an astronumerologist, because you're just like, numbers don't change, planets don't change, none of that information changes over time. But I find it's just like, people just need a little direction, not so much prediction. You need direction. So you just help people to give them the blueprint of A, B, and C. Is like, okay, like this is your birthday, this is what it means, this is why this looks like this and that. And then from there, it helps guide them. Like we're just counselors. We're
Yeah,
counselors.
really, really, really true. I need to ask you a question as an astrologer. Every now and then, several years ago, and recently, they're trying to come up with this 13th planet, Ophiuchus. What is
Mhm.
your thought about this so-called 13th planet? Because supposedly, and why do they fit it between who, first of all, who came up with it? Who came up with the name Ophiuchus? And who decided that, well, we're going to squeeze it between Scorpio and Sagittarius and move all the signs back?
I have like no clue. I mean, you have Vedic astrology, you have Western sidereal astrology, right? So just within those two by themselves is a plethora of different information. I think astrology is a lot of math, and a lot of people are not interested in the calculation part of astrology, just more
Mhm.
interested in the prediction aspect. But when you put in the math and the calculations, it actually shows you the actual science of it. Why someone would put another planet, I don't know. It's the same way that like people feel about Pluto. Pluto is like the stepchild of the planets. Like sometimes it's a planet, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's
All
included,
depends
sometimes
on what day they catch them on, right?
yeah, and it depends on what book you're looking at. If you look at like the Llewellyn book, prior to 1982, then Pluto is not considered part of the planets there. And all of the additions after 1982, you will then see that, now they have this whole big thing about Pluto. So I think it's just a matter of opinions when it comes to people of like, everyone wants to be the big dog, right? And like, I think it's a big ego thing. So
Yeah.
look what I found, and so now I gotta write the pieces of the
And first of
paper.
all, the
I need
name is
to
difficult to
story.
pronounce anyway. Ophiuchus. Okay, how do you spell it? Then it's the
I don't
13th.
know. It's
And then
probably something Greek and something Phileas or Phallus. I have
then
no
it's a
clue.
picture symbol of a guy with stars and he's holding this long snake and whatnot. So it don't look cool. Maybe that's why they threw it up there by Scorpio. I have no idea where it came from. I know a couple of years ago when it came out, that time I was real popular. I was getting calls from everywhere about this, that, and the other. But basically, astrology is based upon the principles of the 3, 6, and 9, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 360 degrees. Okay. So these degrees in the chart and the calculations is what gives us those aspects of conjunctions, oppositions, squares, things of that nature. So I don't know where the 13th planet fits in.
Right.
And then what is the symbol? And then what planet is it assigned to? See, those are
Right.
the
They just
questions.
want to throw you so far off that like I love being an Aquarius, and then all of a sudden you're gonna tell me I'm not an Aquarius anymore. I might be a
I ain't even
Capricorn.
having it. I ain't even having
I
it.
would just stick to what I know, and like, great for you if that's what you're interested in.
So So anyway, I just, because you had said something, I brought that up because that was the thing I saw on one of these media sites, and I said, "Oh, they back with that again, huh?" And so what they're gonna do?
Well, I wouldn't take it too far with like a grain of salt, only because like we just got over a Mercury retrograde, right? So things come back from the
True,
past, right?
true, true.
So I'm sure people in their wake of kind of, this one was kind of a doozy. That's number one. So I think people are still kind of dusting themselves off from this particular retrograde.
Well, you know what? This is interesting, and you know, you were one of the first to explain it to me that yes, although it started in May something through June the 3rd, there's a shadow effect leading up to it, and then there's a shadow effect leaving out of it. So technically, it ended last week on the 3rd, but we're still in the shadow effect. So instead of 21 days, I think actually it takes coming into it and leaving out of it almost a month.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just like, it's when we think about Mercury, Mercury is just like being very witty, thinking of your communication, how you think, right? How you like how people joke, all of these like media, right? Just
Mm,
even like our communication being on the computer, right? The computer, being online, social media, all these things are like very mercurial in their sense. They're
mhm.
usually fast, and you can also associate a short attention span with Mercury, right? How quick can I get it, right? So look at TikTok. TikTok is very mercurial
Yeah.
because it went from like 30 seconds to like 3 minutes, and most people won't even watch the 3 minutes now. Like 3 minutes is too long. So we're
Interesting.
coming into a society that is very short tempered, short attention span, right? In terms of like grab my attention, make it fast. I need it quick. This is what I need. This is a very instant gratification
But then
world
how do
that
you,
we
but
live in.
how does one really, really, uh, Namaswamy, begin to really get to the facts if everything is just so quick, just to add water? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah,
can take a snippet of what we said and it can be twisted. And then when you listen to the whole thing, it was none of that at all.
yeah. I think that that's a good point, that the way communication can now be manipulated with so much like artificial intelligence that's now coming into to play, in terms of, like I would say even like 10 years ago, the way communication and media is now compared to 10 years ago. I remember being in college and just like having my first cell phone. You had to pay for text messages. You had
Yeah.
you waited till after 9 o'clock to make the phone calls
So
because
you
them
would be
calls
on the meter.
were
Yeah.
expensive, right? It was the beginning of like caller ID, so you could see who was calling you. Now, no one wants to pick up the phone. No one wants to talk to anybody. It's just like, oh, so and so is calling. Yeah, I don't want to talk to
Yeah. Let it go right
you.
to voicemail.
So I think it's just a matter of too much information, too much access, right? So
Mhm.
like we don't have enough boundaries. Like communication has now invaded our personal sense of our privacy, right? So our privacy is invaded. I mean, I'm a very private person, so if you're like gonna call me, and I'm just being real, this is just how I am. Like I need time to like recover, right? And it
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
few days for me to get back into the swing of things. But I need that alone time. So the TV gotta go off, the radio has to go off. I need like the pile of books around me, like kind of like your bookcase back there. Like, and that's the kind of thing that refreshes me. I think that's something that we need to go back to. Just like visit the library, visit bookstores. Everything doesn't need to be digital. There's a missing human element to that, if that makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
because we're becoming colder and colder and
And
less.
speaking of that, they said now you don't have to read anything. All you got to do is flash your this app over the page and it'll read for you. So it's not even encouraging a person to get into a book. You see all these books behind me. I love books. I love the feel of a book. I love turn the pages. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like there was a cartoon where everybody was on the train, everybody had their cell phone, and only one person had a newspaper. You know what I'm saying? Because most
Yeah.
people, and I'm talking about even when I was out today, I did a little food shopping. People almost walked into me looking down at their phones, and I had to
Yeah.
say, excuse me." You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
The attention span is just so magnetic. It's just like kind of like zombie. That's the only way I could describe it. It's like a very zombie like, right? Because you're in a trance. You're literally in a trance. You don't really, you're not recognizing anything around you. You're not seeing, you're not being present to like what's happening.
I like
You
how
know,
you put that. You're not present. You're
you're
definitely
not
not present.
at all. And I think that's a big problem, which is why I'm like super like kid, hey, go outside and play. Please
You know
go.
what? I was going to say, so if that's the case with adults, imagine children, young people, babies who don't have the discernment as an adult, whose brains are even more sponge like in taking up information. Okay. I know there's one or two, maybe three mothers seriously that had to stop them watching particular programs on the internet because of its influence. And I notice now almost even the youngest baby be in a stroller with a tablet.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. The instant babysitter. So all of these like computer like things, it kind of shows our age of Aquarius. Like the technology is so fast now, right? So 1 minute the cell phone was just created. Now you got GPS that can talk to you, right? Things that you could download to your phone, right? So I need to go to another state or whatever. Hey Google, can you do this? Hey Siri, can you do that? Right? So all these things that when they first came out, like people were kind of like hesitant towards them, but now we've like
I mean, we deep dive into it now.
yeah, they've become part of our lives. Oh my God, where's my phone? I need my phone. This is the first thing I need.
Actually, some people will actually get the jitters going out and forgetting their phone. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
it's
the whole world
almost
is
like
gonna
that.
end. It's gonna be okay.
Wow, that's really really amazing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn to the people. There's a lot of comments. I will say this: on Monday, somebody tried to hack and solicit. Let me say this to all you viewers: we do not do any solicitations on our shows. I give out people's information at the end so you can support them by going to their Cash App, their PayPal, but nobody solicits actually on there while people are looking at the reviews or the comments, and somebody says, I want to do a reading, because that's what happened Monday and I had to shut that down. I'm not having that. I'm just not having it. My show don't roll like that. My role in my viewers is not to take advantage of you. If you more see, most of the people, when you need us, that's what we're there for. That's why you get their contact numbers, their websites, their IGs, Cash Apps, or whatever. That's how you do it. But anytime you see anybody that comes on my comments soliciting, hey, I think you need a reading, you shut that down. So anytime, so I'm just telling everybody up front that if you think you're going to come this way, you're going to have problems. I will shut you down. I will block you. Just that simple. Okay. Because I like sleeping good at night. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyway. Okay. Are you ready for the comments? You got a boatload of them.
Yeah. Okay. What we got?
All right, let's see what we got here for starters. Okay, somebody said that's true. Yeah, yeah. Please don't do that. Absolutely no. Don't do that, because if I see somebody up in here, you're gonna get it. Okay. So, somebody says this is interesting, Bestie. I mean, Swami, that says maybe Vedic astrology is more accurate because they don't use the outer planets. Is that correct? What do they mean by the outer planets?
Well, the outer planets would be like Saturn, Uranus, those bigger
Those are what are called the generational planets. So
generational planets.
yeah.
So I believe in Vedic astrology, you have your moon, you have both the dark side and the dark and the light side of the moon, right? You have the sun, was it Sun, Venus, Mars? They call some of the planets are called something else. That is not my forte, so I won't even pretend to try to know Vedic. I don't. So inside of that, it could be possible. But again, astrology is a lot about the math, the calculation, the actual calculation of where these planets are at a given particular time. So if you put them up hand against hand, right? There may be some similarities. I believe the difference between Vedic astrology and sidereal astrology is about 23 and a half degrees. So that can make a whole world of difference. In terms of the signs, there's still 12 signs, right, in Vedic, but it would be a difference of 23.5 degrees, right? So how we're in the sign of Gemini right now, they will still technically be in the sign of Taurus right now. So I'm not sure of the start and end of that, but I believe it's like 23 and a half degrees or something like that. So possibly it could be possible, but again, like being the scientist that I would try it out, like use the scientific method and see and correlate and do calculations on both ends. Do your astrological chart Vedic style and then do it sidereal style and see which one correlates with you the most. So for some people, one would, one relates to them more than the other. Neither is not one over the other. But just like we have different religions and spiritualities, we have different aspects of astrology. So the thing is to be able to put yourself in a position to know as much as possible and find your lane. Like just find your lane, right? Because there's so much, and like when you have way too much information, right? Then you're just like bottled and putting things together. So you get the Humpty Dumpty effect. So the Humpty Dumpty effect is that you got a little piece from here, you got a little piece from here, you got a little piece here. So how they say a jack of trade is a master of none.
Of all none, yes.
Kind of similar when you're taking on too many aspects and not just kind of like focusing on one particular area. So when people's just like, well, I do this and I do that and I do that, like great. But like, what are you good at? Like, what are you good at?
Thank you.
What are you good at? Because you got all these things and, like energy is transferable. So if you're all over the place and you're trying to engage with me in a consultation, that client is going to pick up that energy. If your energy is, they're just like, I don't know why I can't, I don't know what it is with this person, right? Energy is transferable. So we're energetic beings. We're like batteries, right? We are 70% water, right? So with that being said, that electrical nature of ourselves of like plugging into the earth, right? Like plugging into the earth, we're able to intercept other people. We intercept them and be able to get their energy, which is why like what we say, like can't catch a vibe with that person. Like, like there's just some people you just meet them and you're just like,
not feeling you today.
Try.
You try to be as open as possible, but just not feeling you. That's it.
Yeah,
And
and
you
have to protect yourself in that way too, because I think with the adjunct of like the 222 portal that we had this year, there is a lot of energetic shifts to the entire earth. So I think people are more sensitive than they previously were, right? I think people are activated more into some senses of themselves, that things that you already had. So it's not like people inherited superpowers all of a sudden. I don't think that's what it was. But I just think that the energy is more concentrated now, that there's a little bit more for everyone. But I think everyone needs to just like sit down under a tree somewhere.
or hug a tree for a bit. You know what I'm saying? Do something. But what's interesting, which is true, because in numerology, the 3 psychic numbers are the 2, the 6, and the 7. Well, this year that makes sense because this year is composed of 3 2s going across the year. All
Mhm.
right. And not only that, but then it adds up to a six, which represents symbolically the sixth sense. So that means, so a lot of people, and this would probably explain this shift in ways that are very interesting. But I gotta do this. I have the very first super chat, super sticker. All this is new to me. But
Okay.
anyway, thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you very, very much. It's a first. It's a first. I listen. Um, I'll be trying. So anyway, good evening. Okay, let me see something. Let's get a birthday for you.
Oh,
Okay.
happy birthday, Geminis. Like, it's Gemini season. It's your season. Big talk, big talk.
Yeah. And
There's
in
a few
fact,
that's coming
Elizabeth says she gave a financial reading or something like that. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. And that's her birthday at the bottom of your screen, in fact.
through. Okay.
Yeah, that came up before. I'm actually working backwards, starting at the top and then going to the bottom. So what would you say? Her birthday was last month as a Taurus.
Okay. So what we got here is that she is all right, so she's in her 6th year. Hey, lovely. Happy belated birthday. What I would say to you is that last year was kind of like a flyby year. A lot of stuff was happening. You might have wanted to be more in front of the camera. You may have been trying to figure out what it is that you want to do in life. You might have wanted to write, create, like very creative. In that sense, now you're kind of more situated towards being towards home. So you may be interested in either moving, fixing up your current living space, maybe even buying some new furniture or something in a way to make your home more hospitable towards yourself. So, as he said, this is a 6 year, right? And you're going into a 6 year. So now this energy is matching up with your Taurus energy, your Venus energy. So for you, this is like a big wing year. So if you're not in a relationship, it's possible that you will be getting in a relationship soon. Let me see. This is, I would see something for you either in probably in July, so let it be quote unquote a hot girl summer. And what that looks like is just like, take yourself out on a date, get cute, put your lip gloss on, and talk to people. Okay. Don't be afraid to talk to people, and let people know exactly what it is that you want. Okay. Put your cards on the table and just be like, yes, I'm looking for marriage. I'm looking for this. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a partner. I need someone who's stable, who can communicate. These are the things that you want. So, as a Taurus person, the one thing I would say is that, like, you may be a homebody, which is why I said to get out. Like, push yourself out there, meet with a friend, be someplace that like you're comfortable, but also come out of your comfort zone so that you can just like have a little bit of fun. And then you'll find that person who will show up when you're least expecting. That's
Yeah,
what I
on that birthday. I would have to agree with that too. Now, this another person here. They said their daughter would love a reading. She is born Amira Hollis, January the 21st of 2003,
okay.
2003.
So his daughter is 19. Woo-hoo. 21, 2, 4, 6. Okay, darling. So for your daughter, Amari, so she's in the 1 year. Like last year, her 18th year may have been like very tumultuous. There were a lot of things that were ending because she was in the 9 year. So there may have been friends and people who were coming in and out of her life that now, they're no longer there. She has a clean slate this year. So she gets to create what the next 9 years looks like for her. If she's not already in school, discovering what her passion is, definitely I could see her as a communicator, artist in some form or another, very, very creative, like working with her hands or like her voice in some form or another, performance arts. Like she needs to be in front of people. So she should, like, if she's not taking classes in that sense, definitely put something that would spark her passion, or like I see like clothing line or something like something that's very creative. Like it's creative, like she's She's very creative, but she has a temper about her. So I would say in that, being 19 gives you a world where you think you know everything. So Mari,
I've
listen
been
to
there too. My mother told me I would get my turn.
that. Like, they've been there. Okay. So all they're trying to do is guide you. They're guiding you so that you don't fall into the potholes of life. Okay. So what I would suggest for you is to make a plan of exactly what it is that you want to do over the next like 5 years. Like, work it out, do a vision board, put pictures on there, put words on it, and like every day get in front of the mirror and tell yourself, just like, like you're gonna be this amazing CEO, artist, creative, right, person, and find yourself a mentor in the area that you want to specialize in, because the quicker you get a mentor, the quicker you'll succeed in your passion, like whatever your passion may be. All I see is creative. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So go out and talk to people. Use your mind. Use the two lips that spirit has given you to go out and get what you want, because a closed mouth does not get fed. So you got to go out there, communicate, speak to your teachers, be like, hey, this is what I'm interested in, and I like to know if there's something I can do to be to go further in this particular aspect. What are some things that you could sit down with me on? Even if you don't have the money to pay this particular person to be your mentor, offer them a cup of coffee, offer them lunch, that kind of thing. Those kind of things really matter to like mentors and stuff like that. And if they see a knack for your talent, they may introduce you to other people. Okay. So good luck this year. You're in the number 1 year. So this is your time to just go out there and shine.
Since you said hi to the Geminis, this is a Gemini whose birthday is coming up in a matter of days, 4 days from now, and they are on the 12th of June.
Okay. Happy birthday, Gemini. Let me see what I got for you. Woo-hoo. All right. So there's a lot of Venus energy going up in here. Girlfriend, get your hair
I
did,
was noticing the same thing too.
get your hair did, get your nails done. Like, get beautiful. That's what you need to do. Like, it doesn't have to, like, this is a year for you to look into yourself, to know how amazing you are, right? See how amazing you are. Again, like the first person I talked about of like being in the number 6 year. So there's a lot of things to do at home. So I would say the same thing to you. Get yourself out there. Go have fun. Like, have fun. I think this is the summer of having fun. Like, we've been so trapped in, for the past few 2-3 years of 2.5 years of the different things that we've been going with the things that's been out in the world. Now's the time to kind of get back into whatever the new normal is. But get out there, meet people. It might be like a bookstore, a concert, right? I don't know why I'm trying to hook everybody up this summer. I think everybody should be in a relationship, I guess. That's the sex and the Venus.
Girl, that's why.
Just give it up. Yeah, choose not to be in a relationship, relationship with yourself. Okay? Like, really take good care of yourself. Okay, like, get your hair done. I'm serious. Like, get your hair done, get your nails done. Like, take yourself out. Don't spend all your money, because we are going into a recession very soon. But do the little things that matter to you, because this is the year to where you're spanning. Like, look at your style. Like, what do you like? What do you love? And if there's things in your home that you don't love, like, get rid of them. And that includes the man too. So
Okay, somebody's in trouble. Goodness. Okay. I'm sure they're gonna want to know how to get in touch with you after the end of the program. Okay. So that's all I can say. But you know what's interesting, and it's true because we're getting people, it appears that at least the callers so far initially are going through a 6th cycle. And this year is the 6th, but the moon is in the sign of Libra, which governs the 6th, or is ruled by Venus, which is the love planet, the planet
right.
of beauty and balance and relationships and things of that nature. And in fact, this person here, uh, cozy, soothing sounds at the bottom of the screen. She was born on the 20th of February, and her moon is in the sign of Libra.
Okay.
You
Okay.
see
So
what I'm saying? So it's
yeah.
like, it's just interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So food, cozy, soothing sounds. That is such a cool name. Okay. So you are going into a 1 year. Yeah. You've been in a 1 year. Your moon is in Libra. All right. So what I say for you also, just like there's a lot of like new cycling coming on right now. Like, so you probably been trying to figure out how to like shift some things. Some things have not gone the way that you expected. You're just like, so what do we do now? So people, places, things, they had to go. So now you're in a new environment. So for that, this is like looking for people of authority, people who can help you get to the next level. You are also in a new cycle. So with this new cycle comes new people. But open your mouth. Like, I don't know why I gotta tell people that, but like open your mouth and tell people like what you need. Like communicate with people. Do like the what is that? The Chamber of Commerce and stuff like that. A lot of these things are like free where you can meet like really great business people and stuff who may be interested in the same things that you're interested in. So your two energy kind of just tells me that like you need to have communication with others, like mediation, or like you need partnerships. So look for how you can create partnerships, and not necessarily romantic partnerships, but also in your business partnerships, right? So let's say that you want to work from home and your job is shifting and changing the way they're doing things. So that looks like something like affiliate marketing, right? So you go to a company, you like their product, they give you a link and you tell your friends about it and they give you some money for it. Okay. So joint ventures, partnerships in some form. This is really that year to begin establishing that. So you're planting the seeds of what's going to happen for you over the next 9 years. So let's say 8 years because we're already half of the year over,
That's
right?
true.
We're
That's
half the
true.
year over.
That's true.
So, like, be very intentional about what the next cycle looks like for you. So, just look back on the last 9 years and just like, okay, like, here was the things that like I learned, and then this is how I'm gonna elevate those things in the next few years. So, starting 6, 12, 3. So this month is a 3 month. So this is definitely a month for you to kind of like get out there, put yourself in front of people, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to mess up. It's okay. Like people are genuinely interested in just you, not with you being put together. They're just more interested in you just telling them what you need and how can they help you. Okay.
Very good. Very good. In fact, speaking of the Libra energy, this person, believe it or not, is under the sign of Libra, born on the 15th, is ruled by Libra.
It's triple Libra. Let's see what we
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. And even the year they're born in adds up to a 6 of 1959, which adds up to 24.
That's is that 20? 5 plus 6, 31. All right. So for you, TJ, I would say this is a year to kind of like rein it in just a little bit because you're in a 4 year. So 4 years are usually where we're kind of seeing a little bit of restriction. And that 4 energy kind of is in opposition to your 6, your 1 plus 5 equals 6, right? So there may have been some oppositions, especially with a significant other. If not a significant other, someone of the opposite gender may have caused some issues this year. So with you being in a 4 year, like don't lend no money to nobody. Just don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
That
Don't
is
lend
true.
any money.
That is
Like,
true.
don't lend money that you know that you can't afford to get back. Okay. Don't get mad if you do and then the person says that they can't. This is a time for you to kind of reserve your own resources. Okay. So that could look like, you might want to consider trading or finding another source of income so that you can increase your resources. But don't, like I said, don't let I'm telling you, like nobody. If you cannot get, if you're okay with not getting that money back, don't lend anybody any money this year. Okay. So this is a good time for you to study, to hone in and perfect the particular area that you study in, whatever that may be. Okay. So spend more time, like use your time wisely as your resource so that you can leverage it to make more money.
All right, good. We have this person here. They are January the 12th, Capricorn 3 person,
Okay.
and they're born in the morning. Okay, so they're round about in the uh
Okay. So
about
for
the
this person, all right. So this person is in a 1 year also. Like this is
interesting.
always
They're
so
either in the
interesting
6 or
to
1
me.
or 4. That's interesting.
It's always interesting because like there's always like this particular. So this is my third time on the show, right? So every time I'm on the show, depending on what the show is gonna be, then there's like the energy that's out. I like to talk about the energy a lot, right? All right. So for you, my dear, you are in a 1 year also. So this is brand new experiences for you. Okay. So it's been tough. It's been tough, but now this is a chance for you to like plant the new seeds. So these new seeds that you're planting, I want you to like get your board. Okay. I'm gonna tell everybody like vision boards work. Get a vision board, right? And start putting on the things that you want over the next few years. Because what happens is that like our brain doesn't compute negative or positive. It deals in absolutes, right? So whatever we focus on expands, right? So if I said like I want to be a business owner, I want to be a millionaire, this and that, like I could say all those things, which is great, but there's still action that needs to be done towards those things. I don't know how to be a millionaire, so apparently me just saying it is not going to make it happen. So you have to have actions with your with your words that are going to correlate with the alignment of the very thing that you want, right? So with her being a Capricorn 3 person, like we see money, we see creativity, right? So in this aspect, choose your lane, right? And then find people who are also in that lane that you can learn from and then make it your own. So there's nothing new under the sun, period. Like, but there's more than enough for everyone. There's more than enough for everyone. So, and
Can't
that's
tell some people that, but that's
well,
okay.
yes, that's true because like we live in a very poverty mindset that like greedy, like there's I can't tell nobody about this because if I do, there's not gonna be enough for me. But that's not how abundance works. Abundance is when you give, but not to the extent of the suffering of yourself. Giving is like being able to be like, well, you know what? Hopefully this could touch you today. Boom. Let me give you a little bit of this. And you never know how much you shift a person's day or their entire life just by being kind to them. Right? Just being kind. They're like, hey, you picked up the phone. Like, thank you for talking to me today because I was feeling real down. So what I'm saying to this person here is for you to be compassionate. Like this is a compassion year for you. Okay. Number one. Two, it's also a very mental year. So start like getting into your books, wherever those books may be for you. If you're looking for a new career, this is the
Mhm.
perfect time to start. Like summer is the perfect time because since everybody's on their summer stuff, right? It's the best time to start looking for scholarships, grants, and things like that because people are not on their grind right now until September. So take advantage of that energy and find where you fit in so that the next 7 or 8 years are flying high for you. Okay.
Very good. Very good. Now we got another one, Stephanie Butler,
Okay.
who is born on the 20th of May. So wouldn't that make her a borderline Taurus or
Yep, it depends on the time that she was born
and
because
where, right?
depending on the year it could be either or. So in this aspect, I would say
I would
her
put him on Taurus to me.
so from 55, possibly. Okay, so you are Stephanie. You're in a 4 year. Okay, so like I told TJ, for you too, don't lend no money to nobody. No, not nobody. Don't lend no money. Like just don't do it. It's just it is not the thing. Investments super important. So find out the things that you're interested in investment wise, right? Money wise. So that could be stocks and bonds, but like do your research before you just like put your money in there. Because I know like Amazon just split on Monday 20-1, and everybody like, oh, I want to buy Amazon. There are a lot of other stocks out there. So just like do your research and make sure you invest morally in companies that are not, you're not just doing it for the money, okay? Because like all money's not good money. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
Google is going to split its stock soon. I think next month, from what I've heard, or something like that. So I think it's very interesting. So it's good. But in a 4, I say the way I put it is, yes, restrictive. Symbolically, it's a box where you are limitations or borders or boundaries. But one of the rules I say is lend not, waste not, want not, lend not, borrow not. So when you tell them don't don't loan no money,
it.
use that a mouthful. Trust me.
Yeah. So I want to,
Tools can be generous. That's a generous combination right there. But this year, it is best to be stingy.
yeah, absolutely. And I think like we have a lot of recovery to do, right? In terms of like all that we've been through as a society, worldwide society, and we're still like coming out of it of figuring out what our new normal is, which is why like I've been like working on like my herbal teas, my astral teas and stuff, because I find like people are experiencing a lot of anxiety, a lot of angst about like like what's next, what do we do, how do how do you go back to like feeling happy and stuff, right? Like it
Mm.
becomes like very chemical. And I think like the shortest thing in that is like getting sun. We don't have enough sun here on the northern hemisphere, right? Like our sun lasts about like 90 days, right, of sun before we go back into the winter, and then like we're back in our houses and stuff like that. And we spent the last 2 years, almost 3 years, being indoors under artificial light. And so a lot of us are
Mm.
lacking in
That's
vitamin
interesting.
D.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
we're lacking in vitamin D, right? So a lot of the things, our bodies are missing certain nutrients and stuff that's causing some of the symptoms that would be expressive as depression, confusion, anxiety, and these things like that. So some of
Mm.
the teas that I've created, right, other like my little blends here, are to kind of just help you be able to center yourself back, astrological, numerical wise, and just like having a consult, like a consultation, to be like, all right, like this is what I have going on, and there are people who are afraid to go to the doctor, right? Like, because there's a lot of stuff going on there, and we ain't gonna talk about that, but I'm just saying that there are a lot of people who are scared out there that don't want to go to the doctor.
Much
So
less the hospital.
right. So we got to go back to our roots, what we knew, what grandma did, grandma, great great grandma did, right? Of how, like, there was always something, somebody was in the kitchen with something that helped us get better in some form or another.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that is true. Those were hand me downs that kept them out of doctors' offices and the hospitals. I kid you not.
Olive oil, lemon, lime, elderberry, right? Like
Cayenne
the
pepper.
cherry bark, right? So we
Yeah.
had all of these things that are still natural, ginger, right? Like just all these things for a belly ache, right? So, for those on the high hand side, right? We got the ginger ale that we do, like ginger ale cures everything. And then for my other people, like sometimes that little bit of the little bit of the what's this thing? I can't even remember right now. The Vicks, right? Like you put the
Oh
Vicks
yeah, Vicks, right?
on
Put it on
everything.
your chest and under your nose.
So basically, that is just like eucalyptus. So that eucalyptus opens up your pores and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
excuse me for 1 second. Who's that? Oh, you want to say hi? Okay, come say hi. All right, so this is Ari, everybody, and she wants to say hi.
Hi, Ari. How are you?
So she just wanted to say hi. Today is just one of those days where, like, I'm just letting her be today. Enjoy herself. So say hi to everybody. Say bye to everybody. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Hey, waving.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. In your studies, has there been you find that sometimes people are resistant or that somebody I've gone through many experiences where people feel this is like taboo, it goes against the laws of God, yet I try to explain that one is a belief and one is a science, which is two different mediums, it's two different lanes. You know what I'm saying? How do you have you ever dealt with stuff like that?
I have, and I think the biggest thing about it is just like for those who are more oriented to certain books, right? That they say are spiritual oriented. It's still a book written by man because it
Mm-hmm.
didn't just
Mm-hmm.
show up somewhere. And if you look
Mm-hmm.
at some of the particular books, like you have the books of Psalms, which are spells. So if you really go into and you're reading through some of what they're recommending in there, you'll see how there are certain things to able to help you with certain situations. So read this particular psalm, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have
Mm-hmm.
Revelation. Book of Revelation is astrology and numerology all day, every day.
Even
Why
the fourth book of Moses, you know what I'm saying? The book of Numbers. That's
all
all
the
it is.
right? So I think people just need to have a little consideration for others because I'm confused by religion sometimes of how it is so single-minded or narrow-minded and it's like my way or the only way. And I'm like, if that's what your God believes, then there's something wrong with your God. Like in that sense of not even opening the space to be able to like have a difference of opinion or even having a spirited conversation about like, well, like this is what I think. Let's just put these things on the table, right?
Mhm,
Just
mhm.
like have the discussion. But look at all wars that have been started have been in the name of a god. Like there's on like both sides are like so in some form or another, somebody got to win at the end of the day. But you're both praying and
And
hoping that
almost
your
all of the
king.
tenets, no matter which of them says thou shalt not kill in one form or another. Yet man says Cain killed Abel, his brother in the Bible. And so I shut it down by saying, okay, if that's the case, name me a war fought in the name of the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And I just wait and I just wait while their brains try to go through their history of time. Or name me a war fought in the name of the number five. They can't name it. So until somebody brings me a war for in the name of Ophiuchus, okay, or whatever the number might be, I'm gonna go with what I know, an ancient African science. Thank you. Okay. So
Absolutely. And I think also just like in simple things, like even when you're gardening, right? So if you look at the Farmer's Almanac, the Farmer Almanac tells you certain things to do, right? So when to plant
yes, yes, the
certain
harvest, everything.
why they actually use astrology. They use the moon sign. The
Yeah.
moon sign will tell you when to plant certain things. So if you want an abundance of certain vegetables and stuff, get yourself like one of those almanacs and go through them. Just be like, oh, and take a planner. If you go to the dollar store, get a planner, just like, oh, it says these dates, whatever. And then try it for 90 days. I'm a proponent of trying things for 90 days, right? So if in the almanac it says these are all the things for the month of June, July, August, right? And let's say like one of them was you wanted to lose weight. So I know for the month of June, if people are interested in losing weight, it would be June 20th and June 25th of this particular year that will help you to be able to lose weight. If you want to gain weight, on the other hand, it would be like June 24th. And I only know this because I actually put it in my calendar to test it. Like it
Yeah.
works. It
Yeah.
works. Astrology works. Numerology works.
Because
And you,
there are phases of the moon that we go through. And in fact, during I think the 70s and or 80s, there was a popular method at that time that women were talking about called the rhythm method. That on the day of a woman's first day of her cycle was the new moon. 14 days from the new moon, you and I know as astrologers and whatnot, is the full moon. Well, 14 days from a woman's start of her menses is the period of ovulation. And so the women at that time were talking, that was a very popular fad at that time called the rhythm method. I don't know whether they still use it, but it just goes to show you how, whether these phones were here or whatever the case is, that, people have always been guided by the cycles of the moon, the cycles of the sun, the cycles of the stars in the heavens. That will never change.
Absolutely. That's all it is. It's just cycles. And again, just be the scientist in your own life. Be the scientist in your own life and just be like, okay, well, let's start. Just take a journal and just like, okay, like today is June 8th. Here's the things that happened, blah, blah, blah. The moon happened to be in the sign of Libra. Oh, I got a call from my sweetheart today. Oh, they want to take me on a date. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay. Then go into the next one and see, just like, it's just patterns. Everything is about patterns. When you start seeing the patterns, when we're in school, we're in kindergarten and first grade, we learn the ABA pattern, right? So one thing is different, then the next thing is different, then it's the same, different, right? These are just patterns. So once you're able to identify the patterns, it makes life easier. That's your cosmic blueprint. That's
Well, then you're
like,
in cosmic sync or alignment with the universe.
yes, because we're picking up the signals. We pick up the signals. So that's why some days we have good days where we feel great, and then some days we don't feel so great, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
moon may be in a sign that is not conducive to our sun sign. So it's just like, ooh, okay. So for me, if the moon is in Scorpio, I don't feel so great. Like
That'll
I'm just,
be that'll be later this weekend
yeah,
too.
I don't feel so great. So I just be like, yeah, that's kind of like where I need to chill right now. There's
Yeah,
certain things like I really do, as a person who studies the sciences, I really do put them in my book and be like, all right, this will be okay. But I don't live my life to where like I don't have free will. I do
sure,
have free will, but at
sure.
least I'm aware so that I'm not falling on my face and certain things to be like, damn, what happened? Like, how did that happen? I don't have that experience. But it's good to be able to just empower yourself with your cosmic blueprint. So get your astrological reading, get your numerological reading. If you want to do tarot, you can do that too.
Now you do
But
consultations, don't you?
I do consultations. So I have astro numerology consultations. I do 30 minutes and 1 hour. I also have the cosmic teas that I talked about.
Yeah, yeah.
I have
Well,
some
we're
of
gonna
those.
talk about that in a minute. Well, let's read two more people, and then
Okay.
we're gonna sign off because it's an hour, and I see you busy too. This person here, they says, "Hey, Mr. Strayhorn and Miss Swami, I want to know what's in store for me in general. They are born on June the 11th. Their birthday is coming up in a couple of days too, in 3 days from now.
15. All right. So for you, all right. So this might have been a bit of a restriction because you're like at the last end of the 4 going into 5. So things are going to start opening up for you. Okay. So what that looks like is start getting into like communication. What does it look like for communication for you? It's going to be you're ruled by Mercury. So this is your live up time right now. Like this is a grand opportunity for you under the 5. So if you can take a trip, okay, a short trip. It doesn't have to be anything expensive out of the country or something, but like save a little bit of money and take a weekend trip somewhere out of your element, okay? And communicate like this. I would recommend the bookstore. Like go to bookstore, communicate, like get online, social media, like get your social media game up. That will be the thing that I would recommend to you as you're coming into a 5. So a 5 is also kind of like the number of the workaholic. So if you're at work where you spend a lot of time at work, I want you to just like pull back just a little bit, okay? And make sure you take care of yourself. Like self-care is super important at this time because the 5 is like rules the nerves. So you find yourself with like lots of insomnia, you can't sleep, and you're like up all night and you're thinking too much. So if you find yourself where you're exhausted a lot of the time, one of the things that I would recommend, especially at nighttime, would be valerian root. Valerian root will help you like ease your mind. It's not a depressant or anything like that. It's a very natural herb that you can get from any health food store, and it will help you to just like calm your mind down. Okay. And you can take it in a tea form because Geminis are very mental people. You
Yes,
guys are
they are.
super mental. Like you guys are super smart, super mental. But y'all take on other people's stuff and you're just like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You don't know how to shut it down. So, as a gift to yourself, as a gift to yourself, please take care of yourself, pamper yourself, and then help bring your energy down. Like, so don't sleep with the phone in a room. Turn the TV off. Like, use the bedroom only for bedroom activities. That's it. Not for watching TV, not for talking on the phone, that kind of thing and stuff like that. So that you could begin to figure out what your natural rhythm is.
You know, before we take this last one, a number Swami, I am really amazed at the number of people, from what I'm told, that actually will go to bed with their TV on, go to sleep with it on, which is the worst as far as I'm concerned. Because when you sleep, your subconscious mind is open to all kind of messages coming through. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they've even
Mm-hmm.
found that when you go to a commercial, the volume goes up. So let's say you're watching something, you say, oh, let me run to the kitchen or do this, that, and the other. The volume goes up. I think that they passed a law at the FCC not too long ago with that, about that, a short time ago, about those kinds of things. But we're
Mm-hmm.
going to take the last call, or the last reader, a viewer, and it's Carrie Van, and she says, blessing to you both. What does love look like for her? And this is a master number. The first person you just read was last person you read was a master number 11. This person happened to be a master number 22.
Okay. So let me see. Okay. What does love look like? Okay, so right now you're in a 2 year. When your birthday comes up, you'll be going into 3. So this is a year.
Can you check that, please?
Let me make sure. 6 plus 6, 33. 6 plus 6 is 3, right? Because this is a 6 year, right? So 6 plus 6 is 12 is 3. Her birthday's in
December
her,
22nd.
right. So her birthday is in December. So she's currently in a 2 year, right?
No.
I mean, not 2. For the year, it's a 3. Sorry. Okay.
She is in a 4 year.
Why am hold
December
on.
22nd.
I'm sorry.
It's
My
okay.
number.
That's
I
why we
want
look out
to
for each
my
other.
number.
That's why we look out for each other.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second to clarify my numbers, please. Okay. All right. So you're in a 3 going into 4 year. I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me 1 second, baby. Okay. So for you, in terms of love, I would say that this could be like a roller coaster of a year. Okay. So play it close to the heart. Play it close to the heart. Like we're play. So what I mean, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that I want you to observe the people who are coming in and out of your life in terms of like a relationship. Okay. Like this may not be the right time for a relationship at the moment. What you want to do is I want you to build yourself. Okay. Take time for yourself before you put yourself into a relationship, because the other person, where you are right now, is that other people may be trying to draw from you. Okay. And that's not what you need right now. What you need is to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. Okay. If you've been not in a relationship for a little bit, I need you to just wait just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. Okay. Before you dive head first. Like I told everybody, hot girl summer. So use this summer to kind of just like get to know people and like figure out what it is that you want in a relationship. Like, do you want marriage? Do you want children? Do you want, well, like, what do you want in a relationship? What do you want from the other person? What do they need to bring to the table? Okay. So don't run straight forward and just be like, hey, I want to be in a relationship and this is what it looks like for me. No, like that's not what I would recommend for you at this time. This is a time of self-reflection, and then self-reflection will give you the opportunity to find a person who's looking for you. Plus, the person that you're probably looking for will come to you when you least expect it.
I would
So don't
agree.
go around.
Definitely.
Don't go
Definitely
around
agree.
love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna show up when you least expect it. So when you focus in doing getting your bag, getting your money, getting, taking care of what you need to take care of, then all of a sudden the tall dark stranger is gonna show up and be like, hey girl, how you doing? Like, listen, like I dreamt you and here I am. I came to take you to take you on some vacations and this and that, whatever it may be, protect and love. So
You should write a romantic novel there, Numbers Swami.
oh, Lord, what do
That's
you
good.
do? What do you do?
Well, let me ask you this. I keep hearing about these hot girl summers. What about the guys? Don't we have some hot summers too?
Oh my
Other than
God. We talk about the guys. Like, listen. All right. So you guys, let's just be funny.
advice for the guys for the hot summer, okay?
Can I be super funny for a minute? All right.
Yes, you can, please.
All right. So for you guys, they are calling this the season of, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Darn it. I was being so funny. I forgot my thought. Hold on. Hoochie daddy season, right? So you got hot girl
Ooh,
season and hoochie daddy season, right? That's what they're
yeah.
saying it is, right? Now listen, all these things are just like funny, like they're really, really funny and stuff like that.
What does that mean, hoochie daddy season?
So hoochie daddy season is that like the way the girls be having their little short skirts, they want the guys to be showing a little, sweatpants action. So sweatpants shorts that show a little action. This is what the community the community is saying right now, right? So I swear, like TikTok and all of these little communities and stuff, they come up with like some funny stuff. So
Hmm.
this is the funny stuff, right? So for all of you that really want to be in a relationship, and this is me being serious, okay? You need to like go in the mirror and you need to like write down and create a vision board of the qualities of the person that you're looking for. And don't let it be the first person who just, bats an eye at you. And this is for both men and women. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you also need to communicate. Like if there's somebody that you like, you need to let them know. But you also need to get their background because you need to know if they happen to be in a relationship and
Yeah,
got
you
some.
need to vet them. That's what you're saying. You need to vet them.
You don't want no parts of that while you're, trying to be vested. Okay. So you want to
Mhm.
vest the person that you're interested in. Okay. And if you're single, okay, it's okay to date more than one person. That doesn't mean you're necessarily giving up something. You're just getting to know to see the personality matches of these particular people. Okay. So like most conversation starters would be like, oh, what's your birthday? Right? People will ask you just like, what's your birthday? This and that, whatever. That's just a small snippet of compatibility when it comes to like being in a relationship. Okay. So you know yourself the best. Okay. Like you know yourself the best. So you want to be ready and ask yourself if you're ready to be in a relationship. And I don't see nothing wrong with like if you need a love coach or you need a life coach to help you get your life together before you get in a relationship so that you don't make the same mistakes that you previously made, right?
Makes
From
sense to me.
some of your
Makes
other
sense.
relationships. You want to heal from that first. And you also don't want to run into the same person in a different body, right? That you've had from your past.
I like how
So
you put that. I like how you put that. The same person, but in a different body with a different face, a different name, but the energy is the same.
it happens. It happens. So you just got to be aware of the signs and, just really take care of yourself because a lot of people are still dealing with the trauma of the past 2.5 years. So make sure that they're dealing with their trauma and you're not trauma bond to them.
Ah,
Okay.
I
You're
like
not
that.
trauma
Okay.
bond to them, right? Be like, we both had like traumatic experiences. Now we love each other. No, like, no, like we want happiness. We want unicorns and rainbows and stuff like that. But you got to be honest in what it is that you want from a relationship. And that's for everybody. So that hot girl summer and hoochie day season and all that other stuff, have fun, be safe. Like, be safe because there might be another round of some other stuff going around. Okay. So just be safe in your interactions with other people. That's
That
all I'm
makes sense. Well, as you see at the bottom of the screen is how best to get in touch with the number Swami. Your contact number is 877-876-0143. Your IG is number Swami.
saying.
Your
Yes.
email is numberswami@gmail.com. Your cash app is $ number Swami. And everybody knows when I get to this sign, the cash app portion, I'm pushing. Because just like the number Swami and the four ladies I had on Monday, all of these, and women are normally secure oriented. They're secure conscious about, the next step, where the next dollar is coming from, or how bills are going to be paid. But when you got women like the number Swami and others that I've had on and will have on further, they took a leap of faith. I'm talking about not just in just words of leap of faith, but in everything, to have no guarantees, no parachutes, no pensions, no sugar daddies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mhm.
just saying, please support her. And you saw her little lady in the back there, Ari. Please help support them, all of them. And so, Number Swami, I want to thank you very, very much. This was fun. This
Oh,
was
thank you
fun.
for having me. Happy 100 show.
Yep, 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 yep. So, actually, in July, we'll make one single year. Now, maybe I'll have a balloon or one candle or a cupcake. You know what I mean? Because I kind of like to stay under the radar. I'm kind of private. More people know me when I'm in front of these cameras and stuff like that. Other than that, it's like, hey, everybody. So anyway,
Mhm.
I want to thank you very, very much, Number Swami. And just hold on a second while I get something straight here. I want to let people know who will be on the show on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to have a very interesting person on. She is out of the state of Washington, D.C., and she is Jay Ellis. Now, let me tell you about this sister. This sister is bad. I had a pleasure meeting her some years ago. Very enterprising. She's a Scorpio. But the reason why I'm having her on Monday, because on Sunday the 19th is it not only Juneteenth Day, but it's also Father's Day. And we're going to be talking about her product line that she developed just for men. So this way, ladies, boyfriends, husbands, whatever situations y'all got with the males, whatever, you want to get them something, please support them. As I've had Sister Yellen Van Zandt on promoting her products, Sister Queen of Four promoting her products. I wish to do the same for this beautiful lady. So she will be gracing us on Monday. Alrighty. So I guess that's it. Okay. Oh, by the way, please sign up for the free monthly newsletter. As of June, this is only June the 8th. So it's free. It's absolutely free. Go to lloyd-strayhorn.com, or you can go to my co-writer, kayafrench.com, and get your free monthly newsletter. No, we do not sell your mailing list. For those that are curious, well, will you sell my mailing list? No, we do not. We honor it. We consider it very private. For those that are into the clubhouse, which I got into quite by accident, don't know how long it's going to go, but we're talking about the power of the name, how you can tell a whole lot. So for you, hot girl summers and these hoochie, whatever mama guys you talked about, Number Swami, this is another conversation other than what's your sign. Just ask what's your name, but you got to know what you're doing and understand the names in order to do it properly. Okay. So I'm just saying that about having fun. So that's the clubhouse tomorrow. It's under Numbers and You, but it's called Learn with Lloyd Numerology. But it's under my clubhouse name, Numbers and You. Don't forget the moon letter is absolutely free. Just sign up for it. Monday's guest is Jay Ellis, who will be talking about her men product that she developed for men and coming up for Father's Day. And again, I want to thank very much. Hold up, let me get this out the way. I want to thank the Number Swami. You got jokes, okay? You're funny. You got jokes. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. you know, But thank you very, very much for being on. And I think, I had a panel of tarot ladies on Monday. I might have a panel of astrologers on too. I know that's one of your things I might get. And also I got to get my man,
Greece, yeah.
yeah, what's his name?
Greece, yeah.
Maurice, Everest.
Hmm.
Everest is a bad astrologer. I had him in my house one time. He was just surprised and amazed at all the books I got. But I take literature and knowledge very, very seriously, which all of us should do. So it's nice to have the sound bites, but sometimes we need to get into the weeds because people can. I'm now beginning to understand, not paying attention, that a person can take a snippet of stuff and really turn it around. It'll give it a whole different flavor, a whole misunderstanding. So it's
Mm.
always nice to get the whole picture. But Number Swami, this has been great. And everybody, please order her teas. You got love teas, you got spell teas, you got all kind of teas. We ain't even talk about the teas. So one day we got to have you back on to talk about those, so people can get teas. Because I understand if a person's an Aquarius like you, and you got another person's a Pisces, you actually put a blend of Pisces tea and Aquarius tea together, right?
Yep, we got some special love teas going on. So if you want some compatibility teas, we got that. It's not a spell. I don't do no voodoo, hoodoo, none of that. But what I do know is how to do compatibility via astrology and numerology. So come check me out.
And you're the best at it too. I will say that. I ain't gonna front, the best at it. So please order her teas. Go hold up. Let me put this on one more time for somebody that says, man, I went to the bathroom and I didn't catch that. You ain't got no excuses there at the bottom of the screen. The number Swami, there's her phone number, 877. There's her IG, number Swami. There's her email, the number Swami at gmail.com, and her Cash App, number Swami. All right. No excuse. Call, find out about her love teas, since it's going to be all that hot this summer, as you were saying. Okay, we will see. Okay, we'll see. Just conversation, just conversation. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you very much, Number Swami. It was great.
You're
And
welcome.
you
Bye,
have
everybody.
the best day. And that's why. That's now y'all want to know why I got hot shows, right? And all these other people I have. I am very, very blessed. I think I'm the most fortunate guy on the YouTube channel doing this, in the sense that and so for to celebrate the 100th show that she happens to be on, go back and look at all the shows that I've done, pick your choices and support them. Also, yes, you saw them, but maybe listening to the second time, you can learn something that you didn't hear before. All righty. So that's important. And Ari, you have a blessed, blessed day, honey. You take care of mommy and everything too. All righty. So, Number Swami, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. This was fun. This was fun. I think this is great. Everybody, y'all have a very nice day, a great, great weekend. Take good care of yourselves. And I'm trying to look to get this theme music together. I'm trying to figure out some other things to make my life much easier. But in the meantime, it's very interesting to see all the things you got to do. In the meantime, have a blessed day. Until then.